Hey guys, this is Mr. Timmerman at Chapel Hill. How are you guys doing? Hope everybody's staying safe and well. And today I want to show you how to cook one of my favorite meals, ramen noodles, but we're going to make fancy ramens. So here's what you need. You need some ramen, your favorite flavor, any flavor will do. You need some sesame oil or olive oil, anything you've got, just a little bit of that. Soy sauce, you can make it a little more soy saucy flavor. I love to make mine spicy with sriracha, but you can leave that out if you want. And then you got to have some good veggies in there. So some corn, some edamame, you can get those in your frozen section. Some baby carrots, we like to chop those up and put those in. And then some mushrooms and spinach, we'll add those in too. Plus an egg, just to make it a little bit creamier. And don't laugh, but we're going to add some plastic cheese to it. This stuff is delicious, and it melts in your ramen, and it makes it so creamy and delicious. So let's get started. I've got my water boiling already, so now I'm going to take my ramen packet. I'm going to break it in half and have it a little broken up. We need to get our corn and our edamame because they're frozen. We need to get those boiling and have them boil just a little bit longer. You can add as much as you like. If you like a lot of corn, that's awesome. If you like a little bit, just add a little bit. And that's going to bring your water temperature down, so it's going to have to get to boiling again. So add some edamame in. Edamame has lots of good protein in it, so it adds some protein to your ramen noodles as well. So you can put these away while your water gets back up to boiling and your corn and your edamame start cooking. And then while those are going, you're going to add just a little bit of your sesame oil. It just gives it a really good flavor. Like I said, you can use a little bit of olive oil too if you want, or you don't have to use oil at all. You can just do your regular ramen. And then I like to add a little bit of soy sauce in there as well, just a little, just to give it a little bit more flavor. And then sriracha saved to the end, because then you can add it if you want it a little spicier, or if you want it a lot spicy, you can add a little bit more. So once you got all that going, give it a good stir around, let it boil here for a few minutes. And while that's boiling, we're going to start cutting up our baby carrots. Remember, make sure you get your parents' permission to use a knife. Be very careful with the knife when you cut up your baby carrots, just into little slices. And we're not going to add those quite yet because we don't want them to get too soft and mushy. So our corn and our edamame are cooking very nicely. They're boiling. We're going to give them a few minutes to go. They just need a little longer since they were frozen already. And again, carrots, the same thing. You can add as much or as little as you'd like. If you like a lot of carrots, you can put a lot of carrots in there. If you just want one or two, then just cut up one or two. All right, once we've got our carrots cut up, our edamame and our corn are probably about to the point where they're good to go. So now we can add our ramen noodles. Remember to take out the seasoning packet, dump in your noodles, and then add your flavor packet. All right, give that a good stir. I'm going to turn down the heat just a little bit here so things don't boil over. Alright, now we got our ramen in, so let's set our timer for 3 minutes. So that's how long the package says to cook them. Once we've added our ramen, that's a good time to add in your carrots, because you want your carrots to cook for about as long as your ramen noodles so they don't get too soft. So add your carrots in, and we're saving our spinach for the very end as well. We're going to go ahead and add our mushrooms in as well, because we do want those to soften up just a little bit. You can add as many or as few mushrooms as you'd like, or you can leave mushrooms out completely. It's up to you. You get to make it your own way. So we're going to let this cook for about 3 minutes. We're going to stir it and check it. All right, we've got our spinach ready. We're going to put our egg in at the end of this 3 minutes. We're going to put our egg in. And once we put our egg in, we want to let it cook for just about a minute longer, not even maybe 30 seconds longer, because we don't want our egg to get hard in there, like a hard-boiled egg. We just want our egg to get the yolk to get a little bit creamy and the egg white to get a little bit cooked so that it's safe to eat, but it adds great flavor to your ramen. Think about if you've been to a Chinese restaurant and you've had Chinese food, egg drop soup, we kind of want it like that. All right, we got everything cooking. Now, your cheese, you can go ahead too, while you're waiting, and open your cheese up. And again, you don't have to add the cheese if you don't want to. I like to add it in there at the end just to make it creamy. It doesn't taste cheesy at all, but it makes it nice and creamy. So break your cheese up into a few smaller pieces while you're waiting for your ramen to cook. It'll help it melt faster in smaller pieces when you add it to your bowl in just a minute. All right, so now you've got your cheese ready. We've got about, a minute left here on our noodles. We're going to give those another stir. Corn and our carrots are looking good. We got some green edamame in there. Very colorful ramen noodles. And we've got about 30 seconds, so we're going to get our egg ready here. And you want to be very careful using the stove, so make sure, again, like I said, you get your parents' permission. If you don't know how to use the stove, I bet a lot of you guys have made ramen noodles before. You're probably pros at it. This is just a way to fancy it up. All right, we've got just a few seconds before we add our egg here. Everything's smelling really good. I'm glad it's lunchtime and I get to eat this after I make it. All right, our timer just went off, so we're gonna add this in. Just crack it right in there and set your eggshell to the side with your trash. And then give it just, like I said, 20-30 seconds to cook the egg. So we don't want it too cooked. And then you can start stirring it up here and it's gonna get really creamy. And that's probably good. I think that's about it. So we're going to turn the heat off. We bring the camera over here. We're going to dump. We need a big bowl because this makes a lot of ramen. So you need a big, giant bowl. We're going to dump it in our bowl. And you can see the egg. We're going to break the egg yolk up so it gets all... makes the egg yolk will get creamy in your ramen as we stir it up. You can see all our veggies. We'll set this aside. Now we'll add our cheese. Just drop it right in and it's gonna melt and make our ramen extra creamy as well. And then you give that a little bit of a stir. And your cheese will start to melt. You can see our ramen becoming more and more creamy as that cheese melts and as we stir it around. Now, we toss in our spinach. And again, if you don't like spinach, you can leave it out. I like to get a little veggies in mine. And right now, your ramen won't be spicy at all. It'll just be delicious ramen noodles. It'll just taste a little bit creamier and have some crunch with the veggies. And now, if you want to make it spicy, you add your sriracha. And like I said, start with a little, because a little bit of sriracha goes a long way. Stir it up and the color of your ramen is going to change just a little bit. You're going to have this delicious, creamy ramen with an egg and edamame for protein. And it's a great lunch. Even on a hot day, it's a great lunch. So, hope you guys enjoyed learning how to make fancy ramen. We miss all of you. We hope you're staying safe, and we'll see you soon.